God, I've been through it on this show these last couple weeks. You guys are the fucking worst. We go like masterpiece, overrated shit, and then this, and I'm just on this fucking whiplash. And you guys I haven't agreed with you guys in like a month.
Get ready, let's go. It's the Real Stupid Review Show, and that's that.
I just finished this. Why? Had you seen this before?
It'll make for a great conversation. Don't tell me this will not make for a great conversation.
Had you seen this before?
I've never seen this.
Jesus Christ.
This edit will drop on my birthday. So I think, you guys should sing me a custom happy birthday, because I don't know if we own the rights to the actual happy birthday song. I don't know if that's public domain yet. So I demand a restaurant quality public domain happy birthday song.
1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you.
Lady never reveals her age.
I am going to go take a shit while you guys are doing this.
We're steaming through this like the steaming pile of shit that Eddie's taking right now. And speaking of shit, welcome to the Real Stupid Review Show. I am Gerardo here with Cody, Eddie, and we have the man who's mandated it, Nicholas himself.
I my overall on it is I remember a horror movie's strength lies in the ability to make you want the characters to survive. Like, you're supposed to picture yourself in their role as they go through their journey, and as they fight the bad guys. You want them to be victorious. And if they're not victorious, you usually lose interest and immediately lose all hope in everything. Otherwise we wouldn't care. We wouldn't want to watch the movie. We want to see people succeed. We want to do that. This movie doesn't do that. This movie really makes you ask why, like, what the hell? But why in a good way. But it's like the why and the what really drives you to continue going through the story. And to be honest with you, it was fucking amazing to me. It was amazing. It shook the fuck out of me. I had no idea what I was getting into. No idea what I was going to be watching. Moving from this mindset of it being a slasher film and everybody telling me it was brutal and everything like that, I had no idea. And I was just, because of how over the top it was and because of how aggressive it was, I could not ask for more, to be honest with you. Should we stay positive, be optimistic? I don't know. I would probably say just keep doubting.
Well, there's a lot of whys. Like, why did Eddie leave to take a shit and then come back?
Literally in the middle of our review,
Hey, listen, all right.
That means you go next.
Hey, I'm perfectly fine with going next. I thought this movie was fucking fantastic. There is a whole lot of things that you have to go back into. There's tons of religious imagery, obviously. Call back to like a lot of practice that the Nazis did, which is something that I found really interesting. Beyond the brutal torture that goes on. This movie deals with depression. This movie deals with survivor guilt. This movie deals with a whole mess of other things that you don't necessarily think about unless you have somebody in your life that's going through it, that's gone through it. Obviously everybody knows it exists. Obviously everybody knows that it happens, but not to the degree that this movie really goes into, and this movie really shows. And holy shit, like what a wicked movie to pick to for the kind of pseudo theme that we've got going on of Women's Month. Because it talks about a lot of really fucked up things that happen to women. This movie, like Nick said it best. If you're gonna sit down and you're gonna watch this movie, then you better buckle your ass up, because you are in for a ride, whether you like it or not.
Ride like the ride that Eddie had on the toilet, which he abandoned the show.
Hey, listen, all right. Let's
you got too much fiber in your diet, buddy.
Let's not bring ourselves down to potty humor, Gerardo. We're better than
that's the whole show.
So I try to judge movies based on sort of trying to look at what the goal that they had in mind was and how close they got to that. By comparing this to other movies I've seen that are like this, and by thinking about what they set out to do, and the meaning of the word horror itself. This movie is fucking horrific, and they did a good job of doing what they wanted to do. But I wish I had never seen it. I will never recommend it, and I don't like it. I got a lot more. I mean, I have like complaints about it as like a movie, like plot conveniences, the ending, the things about like just the story that didn't quite sit well with me. But it just celebrates its own gore, and it celebrates the suffering a little bit too much. The movie relishes in these things that it's just not what I like. So it was very off-putting. Like, not bad, but I would not recommend someone to go and watch this as soon as possible by any means.
This is a movie. They're actors. They're stunt performers. But even after watching this, I had to go find the making of just to like reassure my heart, where it's like, are the things that are happening here, are they okay? Should I feel okay about watching this?
Staples.
It's rough. Yeah. The overall message that it tries to deliver with this extreme delivery, I think it is worth piquing most people's interest. I think this is a story that could have been told in a more conventional way and kind of been like, oh yeah, I guess that's pretty cool. I never thought of that way, or never put much thought into a story like this. And so yeah, it's pretty fun. I don't know how much merit you could give it to just having lots of blood. I thought this film did it in a way where it's very artistic and it never felt too egregious. Even the later part of the movie where it becomes like a endurance test, I really appreciate the crafting of the movie. I don't know if I'm gonna watch this again because it's very, very brutal. And I don't know if I think people should see this, but in secret, in shame.
I had a friend I recommended this movie to, and his wife like just happened to be like, oh, I'll watch this movie with you. You're watching a movie. Why not? Who rented it to you? Oh, Nick. He seems to have good taste. I'll sit and watch it with you. Like, she's like, I fucking hate you. Why would you sit there and watch this movie?
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't tell you to watch it with the family.
I would only recommend this if someone was talking about the most fucked up movies they've ever seen.
The whole goal of the experiment was to, in this Nazi ideal, spoiler alert, this movie is about Nazis, Nazi experiments, Nazi practices. And the next step for becoming the perfect race is ascending to godliness.
I don't know if I said it out loud, but I definitely mouthed fucking white people.
Obviously, there was something fucked up happening the whole time, but where it becomes like this Resident Evil multi-corporational cult thing, like, did that seem a natural reveal to you?
The moment they try to like explain stuff, okay. All right, what are we doing here? And then as soon as they reveal what they're doing,
it's so confident in what it's doing that it just makes you feel out of control of what is happening in the movie. Like, the movie in itself like was portrayed in a way to be like right off the bat like a slasher film or like a revenge flick. Mm-hmm. Like, it just cuts to the chase right off the bat. Like, you see this beautiful little family. And then it just, you see Lucy just go nuts on them.
They give you just a little nugget of, establishing this family. It's like, why don't you become a lawyer? Yada, yada, yada. Here's a dead rat. It was personal enough. I was like, this is interesting. I wonder how this is going to fit into the thing. Knock, knock, bang. The fact that it's already at level 10 and it goes even higher somehow, it's a giant flex.
I got to ask, though, about the dead girl or whatever. Gerardo and Eddie, did you guys think that was real at any point in time?
Yes, that sounds like a back and forth. It's like,
I was not convinced that it was real.
From the first time Anna sees Lucy after she gets attacked, I was like, oh, it's in her head. And I was a little bothered by how obvious that was. But then I was extremely relieved when that ended halfway through, because I thought that was going to be the whole movie. Oh man, they better not try to make this mystery last a whole hour and a half. And they didn't. I was very relieved by that. She was creepy as fuck looking.
She was fucked up. But the third member of Daft Punk, the lady in the goddamn downstairs.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
The fucking goggles and the metal.
Daft Punk. Imagine hearing that bass drop while you're wearing a giant metal helmet with staples in your skull and the bass hits.
The rattle.
The staples were a bad idea. I was just happy, to be honest with you. By the time that when I watched this first time, I was just happy it fucking was over, because I was just like sitting at the edge of my seat, sweating, exhausted. Like I was like, man, come on.
I was so uncomfortable the entire movie, man.
And she wakes up, it's a dream. Haha, bullshit movie. All right, throw it away. No, it's not. It's not.
Nope.
It's not.
You know what else it does a really good job of? Reeling it in.
I mean, does it do a good job at reeling it in there, Jordan?
It does, Eddie.
It does not, but we're going to support it.
Argue with me. It's my birthday, you son of a bitch. How dare you? All right, reeling it in. Segment named by Izzy, who is not here, but he's always in our hearts. We give the final consensus on the movie. Senior Nick, can you please give us the final opinion of yours on the picture?
Women paved the way in horror films like Exorcist, Rosemary's Baby. I think women literally make the genre. It's amazing how they make this movie, and they just literally tie everything back into women. So thank you so much, everybody that was involved in the filming. I love the movie. I'm really excited about it. Also, a movie that makes Bob Weinstein a sex offender and total piece of shit walk out of the movie theater is pretty amazing. So congrats to Martyrs. I was very impressed. Definitely 5 stars. Love you guys. Thank you so much.
But I also liked Martyrs. I won't watch Martyrs again because Martyrs made me very, very both emotionally and physically sad. I honestly want to say that it took me like at least 2 days to recover from this movie after the fact, and it
hasn't been 2 hours for me.
That's right. We didn't disclose that. The fact that you just finished watching this, so you're fresh off of the emotional abuse.
But I think it does a beautiful job at depicting a lot of real issues that happen to a lot of real women. But fuck, man, this is a really intense, really powerful movie. If you've got the stomach for it, I definitely recommend it. If you don't, definitely steer clear.
Anything that can get this visceral of a reaction out of me cannot possibly be bad. Choosing a rating for it is extremely difficult. I love practical effects. I love the style and the dedication of how they pulled off these horrific things. Just the cutting, the stabbing, the whacking, the crushing, all of these awful things, just the physical abuse, the sound of the hits, all of that was so fucking well done, or this movie would have been a joke. So from that standpoint, it's extremely well done. I don't really know anything about Anna. I don't know her personality. All I know is that she doesn't talk to her mom that much, and she has a friend who's insane, and she's good at taking care of her. So it's a little light on some things I really like, but it's super, super, super strong on this like practical, real, like gritty filmmaking. I kind of hate that I had to watch it, and I wish there had been a little bit more of a connection to be made to the main character. I can't fucking give this a score. 3.5, I think, roughly, maybe a 4. It's so like well made and visceral that I can't hate it, but I also never want to fucking see it again. So 3.5.
There it is. And you guys definitely didn't agree with me that Anna's a cool lesbian ride or die gal. But I mean that's my own fan
We're gonna
fiction.
choose.
They were lovers. What do you mean? They were lovers.
Kiss. Listen, you don't stick with her unless you're in love.
Yeah.
What it was in the beginning, what it became in the middle, and what it turned to in the end. There is obviously an artistry to that, and even though this movie is not for everyone, you have to appreciate the execution that went into this, and I definitely do. Again, I was a bit standoffish. I have a much deeper appreciation just seeing the crew and the actors and everyone like putting in all of their efforts to make this happen, no matter how demented it is. It's still something to definitely something that inspires. Not that I'm going to go, start, peeling people's skin off, but the creation of cinema and movies as an art form. So a definite must watch if you have the cojones to do so. And Cody's a real cool guy with shades. Speaking of cool guy with shades, time to do your bit, CODEY, of recommendations.
Nick, what do you got for us?
Follow Witter. They make custom VHS releases. They are very functional VHSs. If you are a fan of ridiculously dead and old and not like renewing quality of cinema, I love VHSs, and I won't lie, every time they have a release, I'm going crazy for it. Definitely worth the follow, and if not, go ahead and follow Yes, serious.
A lot of highs.
Luffy, the potential pirate king. I haven't gotten that far in the show. Don't know if that happens. What do you got for us?
The first one is it's another movie that'll make you feel very sad and physically and emotionally, but in a different way. Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind. Probably one of my favorite movies of all time. But my second recommendation is going to be Tabletop Simulator. If you're a pathetic nerd like me that has probably more board games than he knows what to do with and not enough friends, but you've got friends online, you can play anything on it.
Tabletop.
If it's not on there, you can find something. The workshop is fantastic. The people that create things on it are fantastic. I'm currently running a Out of the Abyss a D&D module on it with some of my buddies. It's fun as fuck. I found this pre-built boat, and it's crazy.
It's insane. All right. I got a lot. So I'm going to rapid fire here. Follow me on Instagram, code.y. I've watched 3 movies since our last review. Maybe 4, not sure. I'm going to try to, I've watched 5 movies since, Jesus. Okay. The Man from Nowhere, wonderful vengeance movie. I love it. Vampires versus the Bronx. It's fine. Jinro the Wolf Brigade, gorgeous, but the story is boring. So if you want great animation, perfect. If you want a good story, don't get your hopes up. Minari is fucking gorgeous. Zack Snyder's Justice League. This is 4 hours that will give you what feels like 20 minutes of extra shit for the movie you already probably watched 4 years ago. Most people stay away. If you're a fan of the series, you've already watched anything. I'm an asshole for putting it down. Gerardo.
The Descent. It's a movie about some gals going out on an adventure trip to reconnect after some trauma that recently passed. The way it builds the setting and the monstrosities that dwell in the caves, and really the monsters that lie within, and having the female leads in this movie, they're not scared women. They're when the situation comes to it, they're kicking ass. Really dug it. Check it out. The Descent is a classic for a reason.
I think we're at our best when we pretend like we don't notice that it's a sausage fest here. All right, spending a whole month talking about it and just
Bye.
Well, it's been a great show. Thank you, Cody. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Nick, for the wonderful mandate. And we'll see you guys real soon.
It's doing it.
Oh, what the? Oh my God! Put it on there. Put it on.
Right.
There needs to be both.
It's a
Fight.
5 out of
Let
5.
them fight.
Out of 5.
Well, now that we're done with the reviews, I'm introducing a new segment to the show called Kaiju Court.